Danny Shadol,
Here.
Brandy Clark,
Here.
Lisa Enerson,
Here.
Greg Hillius,
Here.
Sherry Kirkland,
Here.
Natalie Lou, Carl Sword.
Present. Everybody rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right. Orders of the day, moving on to excuse absent members. I would like to publicly note that Natalie did get a hold of us and let us know that she was sick and would not be able to make today's meeting.
Motion to excuse Natalie. Support.
Motion by Lisa Anderson, seconded by Brandy Clark, to excuse Natalie Lou from the meeting. Brandy Clark,
Yes.
Lisa Anderson,
Yes.
Greg Hillius,
Yes.
Sherry Kirkland,
Yes.
Carl Sword,
Yes.
and Danny Shadol.
Yes. Setting the agenda.
I have nothing to add.
Moving on to approval of the minutes of February 4th, 2025.
Motion to approve the minutes of February 4th, 2025. I'll support it.
Any questions, Bob?
Motion by Lisa Anderson, seconded by Sherry Kirkland, to approve the minutes from February 4th, 2025, and place on file. Lisa Anderson,
Yes.
Greg Hillius,
Yes.
Sherry Kirkland,
Yes.
Carl Sword,
Yes.
Brandy Clark,
Yes.
and Danny Shadol.
Yes. All right. Approval of the minutes of the special meeting of February 11th, 2025.
Move to approve the minutes and place on file. Support.
Any questions about those minutes?
I have a motion by Carl Sword, seconded by Greg Hillius, to approve the minutes from February 11th, 2025, and place on file. Greg Hillius,
Yes.
Sherry Kirkland,
Yes.
Carl Sword,
Yes.
Lisa Anderson,
Yes.
Brandy Clark,
Yes.
and Danny Shadol.
Yes. All right, moving on to public comment. Okay.
Oh, I apologize. Is this the
Yeah.
portion?
Yes.
I'm new. I apologize.
Yes.
Where we can come up and talk about it.
Yep.
Hello. My name is Jason Blackwood. I'm a newer resident. My family, my wife, and my children, we recently purchased a home about 3-4 years ago. And through the process, we realized that our needs were changing, and something that we are really interested in, which I thought was an option, but apparently is not, is backyard chickens. And it's something that we are really passionate about. We've had them before. We thought we'd be able to continue. And my quick Google searching for Hudson Michigan chickens brought me to Hudson, New York. So, but I wanted to see, the process for looking into that. I understand that the current ordinances prohibit it. And I was a little surprised, only because of how rural this community is. We see more urban communities, Ann Arbor and even Detroit, allowing. I'm not looking to, open a farm on my backyard, but, especially with the price of eggs these days, being able to have a few layers would be a nice benefit. So,
Thank you.
Not to go into too much detail, we do have, it's being looked at.
okay,
Yeah.
awesome.
Have you had chickens before?
Yeah.
Where'd you have them?
We were right outside of Britain. That's actually where Alex family is from.
I'm so new, I don't even know where that is.
It's very small.
In between Britain and Tecumseh. Maybe minus the Hawks, we would probably still have them. A little more.
Very good. It is the planning commission that looks at that.
They're currently looking at
Yeah.
current ordinances and future to be able to try to look at that.
Okay.
And how does that process flow? Again, this is one of my first local.
That's being developed as well, because there currently isn't one. Just due to the ordinance of none, that is also being looked at, a process for it, whether it's gonna be like an application fee process, like a registration process, like dogs, animals, yeah. So that is currently being looked at by our planning commission.
Okay, and do they meet separately from you guys, or, okay, and is that also open to the public? or-
Yes.
Okay.
They meet, when did,
Fourth Monday,
Yeah.
6:30.
your friend.
So you just missed one last week, I think.
That's good.
I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, I'm Dave Unks, I'm the county commissioner representing the city of Hudson, also representing Hudson Township, Edina Township, City of Morenci, and Rowan Township. And I just basically wanted to say hi and introduce myself. I was here before the election, but, yeah, I haven't had a chance to come after the election, and I just wanna pop in every now and then, see if there's anything that, you all want me to bring back to the county commission. We do have a meeting coming up on March 12th, on Wednesday, March 12th at 1:30. And this month, we are gonna have a night meeting on March 27th, right at the same location, so. Currently, the big issues we're working on now is the Murray Spear campus. They're getting a huge, addition there. And then, on top of that, the part that they weren't doing anything with, there was a major water line break, so now they are actually having to do that, but that will be covered by insurance luckily. And then the only other issues that are really coming to head right now, we did hear a presentation from some representatives from the city of Morenci, city of Tecumseh, about the housing issues going on in the county. So I'm not sure how involved you guys are with that, but if there's anything you want me to take back to the county, I'd be more than happy to do that.
Very good.
Oh, thank you. Did you happen to have a card on?
I'm sorry. That's bad.
I remember having your election thing, but,
Yes, I'll try to get some cards.
Alright, wonderful.
That's my bad.
thank you.
Thank you.
They were actually in my truck and I had a flat tire on the
Oh.
way here, so,
no.
and I didn't take them out of the truck from.
Gotcha.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks for coming. Any other public comment? Okay. Alright, moving on to new business, item A, discussion of Hillsdale County Board of Commissioners for ALS agreements.
Chairman Mark Wiley of the Hillsdale County Board of Commissioners reached out to me and asked if he could be on the agenda to address the council and have a brief conversation about the ALS agreements. Mike?
Alright, well, I guess I can do away with the introduction.
Welcome.
I do represent the west side of the county, so it's basically a cross-country drive for me, so. But, I wanna thank the council for having me on the agenda, and I come before you tonight, of course, to discuss a solution to the ambulance problem, and not to point fingers at anybody, that's not my intention at all. I just think we need to come up with a solution to benefit those that we represent, whether it be the citizens of Hudson or the citizens of the, Hillsdale County and the, two primary areas as well as the county. Because the way the agreement reads, if you've seen the agreement, it reads primary region and the county of Hillsdale. I think there's a lot of blanks that need to be filled in, and I think perhaps, I'm just looking for solutions, not more problems, because we've got one of those. So I would propose, if I may, a meeting between all the concerned parties, be it Hudson Ambulance, the city of Hudson, because you're the purse string holders, I believe. The Board of Commissioners and the emergency unit, and let's see if we can't resolve this. So that's really why I come before you, to see if we can't figure out a resolve before this. We had a letter in the packet, and some of you may have seen it at last Tuesday's meeting for our Board of Commissioners, which got tabled, and I volunteered to come to your meeting to offer that olive branch, if you will. here I am. You know, so I guess I wanted to see if you were open to having further discussion on this topic, so.
I completely agree with you. That's one of the things I was speaking with Charlie about. Is, you know, those mutual aid agreements, those help out a lot of people. And definitely it's something that, you know, I wasn't looking to end. But yeah, just looking at coming up with a resolution that's, you know, fair and equitable for everyone involved, so, yeah, I would definitely be open to that.
Okay.
I agree.
Yeah.
Sounds like we've got a consensus.
Yes, we do.
The contract has to be renegotiated excuse me, anyway, by the end of the year, so
That
we
is
might as well
true.
just get started on it.
Yeah, I'm fully open to starting that conversation now. You know, whether or not we can do anything financially within this calendar year, because those funds have already been, you know, allotted for. But at least we can get started on the groundwork for what's gonna, you know, work for everyone.
Yeah.
So, but, I guess I'll leave a card with Charlie, and I'll leave a card with you, Dan.
Yeah.
Geez, that card key is.
First.
After digging the other pockets.
Got a couple of those, don't need those.
But there's a.
Thank you.
So, all right, I appreciate your time and look forward to.
Yeah, we can definitely set that meeting up and I'll make sure that I'm there.
All righty. Thank you for your time.
No, thank you.
Thank you.
Moving on to item B, approve Benzinski and Company Municipal Financial Advisors Agreement.
As part of the Clean Water State Revolving Fund Sewer Rehabilitation Project, it would be necessary for the city to have the financial assistance for the project. Benzinski and Company had prepared letters of engagement for the agreement to provide the financial services for this. On November 11th, 2024 council meeting, council approved the financial services with Benzinski for the Clean Water State Revolving Fund. That was at the time when we thought the revolving fund was gonna be funding the whole project. So now that Eagle doesn't wanna fund the whole project, we're gonna have to go out for bank loans for the other part of it. So due to that, it requires the additional services from them for the bond. I have attached letters of engagement for additional work on the bond. Cost for these additional services is $9,500. Expressed my disappointment with, you know, we already approved $13,850. So they said they couldn't reduce the $9,500, but they were able to knock $3,000 off the original when you approved for the $13,850. So the total cost for that would be $20,350 for the financial services. And again, because of dealing with the state of Michigan for loans and bonds, we have to have their services, so, yeah.
But I'm thinking, why did I think of that rap?
Anyway, so these fees would be covered as part of the bond proceeds that we would be borrowing, so they would be paid from that.
In the mindset of not borrowing anymore and we have to, can that not come out of the water and sewer fund? That has a $233,000 balance, is that allocated or building towards something?
So, no, those dollars won't come out of that at all.
Oh.
So these are gonna be, these are gonna be the loan dollars. Now, the payback will be coming from actually, how it's figured is from the, fees on the water and, well, actually the sewer fees.
Okay.
Will be factored into that to help
Save
pay that,
interest.
to pay that back, yes. And the thing is with these state revolving fund loan and if we go through a bank loan, I think I showed you those numbers earlier. You can't pay them off earlier, you know, we're hoping that you can pay it with the initial numbers I gave you, how they split out the 20 years on the one and 50 on the other, is gonna actually save like $160,000, I think, in interest over the terms, so.
Did they tell you how those fees were formed? Or that's a percentage of the loan that they're charging us, or is it just, I mean, I guess I did read the breakdown of all that stuff.
Of how to pay back the loan?
Well, like they say, what they're charging us for. I don't
Oh,
know
yeah,
that
it's-
industry where.
They did not break down, like, itemize it of like,
Correct.
this specific service is
Yeah.
$500,
They give you a
this
list
is
of
this.
what they're.
When I read that, it just seemed like kind of jargon that someone threw out there as like, off
Yeah.
of a boilerplate, that, well, we do all this, so we'll just say we are doing all this. And I'm
Well,
just wondering if,
Yeah,
They're dealing with the state of Michigan
Yeah, yeah.
too, so they have to.
and we have no one to do
protocol, they
that
have
for
to-
us, so we kinda have to,
Yeah,
that was, yeah, but it's frustrating to see.
I know.
I like that you got some 20% off, 10% off, maybe total, 15%.
Yeah, it's actually about 14, but
Okay, 14's please.
something like that.
That's really funny.
So it's, my recommendation to approve the agreements with Vindiski and Company for financial services for the 2025 Clean Water State Revolving Fund and the 2025 capital improvement bond for the 2025 sewer rehabilitation project, and authorize the city manager to sign the agreements. So this would be for both pieces.
And this is coming from the loan system, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
We paid for the
It's like
proceeds.
closing fees.
Mhm.
Folded.
Yeah.
motion to approve for the financial services capital improvement bond for the 2025 sewer rehabilitation project. And authorize the city manager to sign the agreements.
I'll support it.
Any questions on it?
It is,
Fees.
I mean, I think it's gotta be done.
It's high numbers, but it's a project that has to be done.
Yeah.
If it doesn't, it's gonna cost us more.
I know.
Not only that, not only the cost, but the liability of it too.
Yeah, that's right.
Any other questions on it?
I have a motion by Lisa Ederson, seconded by Sherry Kirkland, to approve the agreements with Benzinski and Company for the financial services for the 2025 Clean Water State Revolving Fund and the 2025 Capital Improvement Bond for the 2025 Sewer Rehabilitation Project, and authorize the city manager to sign the agreements. Sherry Kirkland,
Yes.
Carl Sword,
Yes.
Greg Hilligus,
Yes.
Lisa Ederson,
yes,
Randy Clark,
Yes.
Daniel Shadol.
Yes.
I probably could have worded that a little differently on the recommendation. Sorry about that.
Alright, moving on to item C, approve bond council services for 2025 CWSRF sewer rehabilitation project.
Again, this is just kind of the second piece. In Michigan, the municipal bond insurance is governed by the state statutes and local regulations, primarily under the revised Municipal Finance Act, Act 34 of 2001. Local governments must obtain approval from the Michigan Department of Treasury, which evaluates debt levels and repayment capacity. And the bond's purpose to ensure alignment with the municipality's financial health. Basically just saying that we're able to make that happen. Miller Canfield, Paddock and Stone PLC have provided me with an engagement letter for their services for the Clean Water State Revolving Fund bond issuance. Miller Canfield, Paddock and Stone PLC have served the city in the past on several bonds over the years, so we're very familiar with them. I think they do most of the state. Cost for their services on the 2025 Clean Water State Revolving Fund, in this letter of engagement is $8,500. The fee, again, will be paid from the proceeds from the bond. Like the financial services agreement with Benzinski and Company, there will be an additional services for the other piece of this. I have no idea what that is at this point. So it is my recommendation to approve the bond council services of Miller Canfield, Paddock and Stone PLC for the 2025 Clean Water State Revolving Fund Rehabilitation Project in the amount of $8,500.
When they do come out with their additional services fee, is that coming from this as well,
Yes.
the loan? Okay.
All of this is gonna be.
Yep.
I
it'll all be
wonder about
paid.
that.
make me feel any better. I don't know what else we can do. That's not another option.
No. approve the bond council services of Miller, Canfield, Paddock, and Stone PLC for the 2025 clean water rehabilitation project in the amount of $8,500.
I support.
Any questions about it?
I have a motion by Sherry Kirkland, seconded by Greg Gilligus, to approve the bond council services of Miller, Canfield, Paddock, and Stone PLC for the 2025 Clean Water State Revolving Fund Rehabilitation Project in the amount of $8,500. Carl Sword,
Yes.
Sherry Kirkland,
Yes.
Greg Gilligus,
Yes.
Lisa Anderson,
Yes.
Randy Clark,
Yes.
and Danny Shadall.
Yes. Moving on to item D, approve service to get the wastewater treatment plant switchgear maintenance and tested.
The switchgear at the wastewater treatment plant is a critical need of maintenance and testing. This service is supposed to be performed every 1 to 5 years, depending on the age and condition of the equipment. Josh has looked back through the records and found that infrared scan done was back in 1990 and found nothing else since.
Wasn't that just 10 years ago?
So, all the electricity for the entire plant runs exclusively through our switchgear system. So if it does go out, part of the possibility the entire plant will cease to function. So it's very critical piece. Josh has included 3 quotes to have this work done. SMS for $7,427, UIS for $11,012, and KT for $12,180. All quotes are for the same services, which would include infrared inspection of the entire switchgear system, followed by a visual inspection and cleaning of the load breaker, switch, 300 kV transformer, and both motor controls. Lastly, an oil sample would be drawn out of the 300 kV transformer and sent out for analysis to help determine the status of it, how healthy it is. After reviewing all the 3 recommended, he is recommending on the switchgear maintenance services. And so it is my recommendation as well. I concur with him to recommend that we use the services of switchgear maintenance services for $7,427. We currently have $8,719.27 in the budget for contractual services, so that leaves us about $1,290 left there. And I don't think Josh anticipates too much more coming out of there, but yeah, so.
So I was gonna say, it sounds like this might lead to something bigger.
Well, yeah, this is a critical piece.
Sure,
Right.
absolutely, I know that.
30 years,
I know.
So Josh, the switchgear maintenance service, that company, are you familiar with them, or with their reputation, or?
No,
Okay.
but I did meet with all 3 of them, and we did discuss, like, basically the procedure and how we go about doing it, so. As far as the procedures, it's not like complicated as far as, like, but it does take someone who is licensed and such, so.
With it almost being 30 years, I don't think anyone here is familiar with any of it.
Well, I was just wondering if that's.
I think we should videotape the process though, because I'm just imagining what I know about this stuff, and it isn't hard to do, like you said, you just need to be licensed to do it. So, it'd be fun to just watch them do it, and at least we'd know how to do it if we had to, so.
Only for the nerdy people.
Guilty as charged.
I see no fun in watching that.
I wanna learn everything, so. I'll film it for you, then I'll just be filming it for the city.
Sorry to pick on you.
Okay.
I make a motion, we hire switchgear maintenance services for the amount of $7,427.
Support.
Any questions about it?
I'll make sure you include Greg, Josh.
I'll text you.
So Josh, as they're doing it, do this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we we actually have to shut down the whole plant at some point, and then actually shut down different sections as they go through. So we will have to set up different bypass pumpkins and stuff like that to accommodate them, but I did go through all that with actually all three of them, just to make sure that they understood the process which had to be done to actually successfully get everything without causing too much backlash.
The good thing is you've been exercising all your valves and stuff now, so everything should be good.
Well, our new valves, I still have about half of them to replace at some point, but
You may wind up having to get those replaced sooner than.
As long as they're not 30 years.
oh, they're
Older.
Yeah, I was gonna say they're a lot older.
Motion by Lisa Anderson, seconded by Brandy Clark, to approve switchgear maintenance services for $7,427. Brandy Clark,
Yes.
Lisa Anderson,
Yes.
Greg Hilligus.
Yes.
Sherry Kirkland,
Yes.
Carl Sword,
Yes.
Davey Shadol.
Yes. Alright, moving on to item E. Moving into executive session for OMA Section 8C HPD union negotiations.
I know the motion.
Yes.
That's what I just said.
Yeah, and I'll make a motion, we go into executive session.
Support.
So I have a motion by Lisa Anderson, second by Brandy Clark, to go into the executive session pursuant the Open Meetings Act, Section 8C, to discuss the Hudson Police Department union negotiation strategy. And Lisa Anderson,
Yes.
Greg Hilligus,
Yes.
Sherry Kirkland,
Yes.
Carl Sword,
Yes.
Brandy Clark,
Yes.
Daniel Shadol,
Yes.
and it is now 7:27.